Indeed, and right now, Azure Ray is on the losing side of those margins at a score of 4-6, so they need to be on the winning side of this series. Want to be able to pick up the 2-0 here to put themselves in the top 4 and knock OG down. But are they going to be able to do that with this draft, Avery? We heard a lot of talk about this last pick, Brewmaster. What were your thoughts on it?
It's not the greatest Brew game I've ever seen. I think Mirana, Morphling, Rubik all do pretty well versus that hero. You can get the stolen split sometimes. Even the other spells are good. Ari will feed first blood to low. He's very happy about that. Not the kill you want to give up. But you have Mirana ult to disengage from it. I think Morphling doesn't really care about this hero. The lane's pretty free. You have a Vessel timing on Brew, but that's kind of it. Later on, Morphling just shreds you, and even then he can just sometimes ignore you. Can be a hard hero to toss up. I'm looking more, this is a battle between Morphling having a very good Morphling game and Pango having a very good Pango game. And which of those heroes can start to take the team fights over first. In theory, Ori has advantage because, I mean, well, he plays mid. So he's going to get more XP. He can get to his items a little faster. And I think Pango also has a decent matchup versus Morph in general. Diffusal buying hero can come online a bit faster. If they get some like nighttime stuff going with Luna, then I can see Azure Ray just snowballing through Ori this game. He has very free team fight outside of the Pulverize, which is, you know, why this Primal got picked later on. It is a pretty good interaction. I don't think it's something that completely shuts you down, though, and you can play the fight around it. You can play off the swashbuckles, you can burn the Primal's mana, set a fight up where force OG to go into you, and suddenly that interaction's not as bad.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of things that you need in order to really truly counter the Pango with the Primal Beast. I mean, it first starts with just having BKB a lot of time, right? But then on top of that, you need a hero that can actually output physical damage while he's sitting there rolled up, you know?
Well, it still just cancels it, right?
Yeah. So I mean, you got to be able to burst him down quick is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I guess you can get Shard and ult, and it gets weirder. And yeah, I'm not convinced by that, this matchup. I think if you have one or two other counters to the Rolling Thunder on top of it, it becomes a lot better, but it does put a lot of onus here on Primal saving that ult, which also isn't something you always want to do with this hero when he wants to be starting stuff on his terms, instead of waiting to counteract some other ult. Well, see how OG can play around it, but so far doing very well on lanes. And again, I think they're going to do fine on lanes here because I don't see Whisper getting challenged too much on one of the strongest lane offlaners, and I think Morphling should free farm this game. Downside of Brewmasters, a lot of times you're just giving the enemy carry free farm. You pay it back with the team fight later, but Tomato should just be in comfort land this game. He's got his Morphling. If you remember, the Morphling was almost undefeated on that TSM team.
Yeah.
Forever.
Very, very good Morphling player.
He's level 30 on the hero. I mean, this is arguably Tomato's best hero of the last few years. So yeah, he's going to carry a game. This is it, man. This is a tremendous Morphling game. He's going to have free farm, going to have a free lane, signature hero. He's got everything to help him succeed. He's got Seb on Mirana.
Oh, I thought he's got Seb.
Well, yeah, that's
all you need.
It's probably giving him a motivational speech right now.
To back that up, he's played Tomato. Morphling is his most played hero. He's played it 84 times, 84 matches. His second most played hero is Terrorblade at 66. So there is quite the difference between his Morphling and any of his other heroes.
It was their go-to when they needed a dub. Yeah, Tomato morph and let him cook. Something to be feared. I'm also curious about this Luna matchup because I think Morphling basically crushed Luna for a lot of the past, 3 or 4 years in this carry-on-carry matchup, but nowadays you have this Conda morph, you also have the Conda Luna build, you can also play Luna more off the pseudo spell damage between the Conda plus a later Ags or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, this matchup could be a lot more weird than it used to be, but I have to imagine it's still pretty fine for Morphling. He doesn't care. His Conda, I think, is the better Conda.
I mean, at some point, he can turn into the Luna. If you get the Shard on the Luna, the Shard on the Morphling, like, surely having that extra damage resistance on a Morphling has got to be broken, right?
It's got to be good. Even throwing the beams out once you have your own Condas.
Yeah.
Not insignificant. BZM will output some damage. He's doing very well in this lane, and that is pretty damn nice, because if you can keep Ori down early, again, I feel like the Pangolier is the engine of this lineup for Azure Ray. So the slower Ori's game is, the slower I feel like all their team fights are going to be. The skirmishing is going to be a bit weaker. The power rune contest a bit weaker. That side of the map definitely a bit weaker.
Yeah, look at them. They're putting in. They're going to make sure that he cannot get a refill on his bottle here.
Wait, can we go back to that corner of the map real quick?
Huh?
Never mind. Oh! Did not expect that to be a kill on this lane. Caught him on the side, caught him lurking, caught him sleeping.
Caught him without leap. Toss back. Low. Yeah, they've got him dead rights.
Man, it feels so good to get kills on lane with Rubik. You just feel like you won the game, honestly.
Why? Just because the extra experience is very beneficial to that hero?
I think it's the best for in terms of getting extra XP and gold early. He just translates it so damn well. The faster you get 6, the faster you can start to have impact in the fights. It just snowballs from there. Even early arcane boots on the hero can sometimes change a lot in the early game. It's just super, and it's not a hero that you're necessarily guaranteed to get it on.
Without those bottle charges, Ori is having a harder and harder time against BZM.
He's just getting beat up, man. This laning phase definitely going a little bit of the way of OG, particularly on that mid, getting opened up, but so far it's been pretty good for the Brewmaster. Better than I thought it was going to be, honestly. He's not in some situation where he's just getting out CS'd by this Morphling. The real pressure point has really been mid. BZM just kicking it up a notch. Gets enemy catapult sniped. I don't know if that was necessary, but sent a message.
I mean, it's kind of interesting. He just cleared out that wave and the catapult, so...
Yeah, I guess it gives you some freedom.
Yeah, it gives. He could have maybe made a rotation at that point. Instead, he TP'd back to base and is going to run out to lane. But basically meant there was no chance of him missing out on a wave.
We'll see if they want to push him towards this bottom lane. That is a classic primal move. You're going to have Arena up maybe the next 2 to 3 minutes here, so you could also make it at that timing if you want to wait for the team fight to come out from Whisper. But at some point, I think if you can connect the kill with the 2 cores on low, you're going to be really happy. Instead, they'll fight for the 6-minute power rune, and they will get it, but it will not go into the Primal's pocket. And again, I think Whisper is pretty much untouchable down here. I mean, he's got double bracer, raindrop, wand.
Yeah, you're not doing anything to that guy.
So
You're
that's
just adding to his wand charges, really.
And this is setting up that arena threat for later. The more solo XP Whisper gets, the sooner Low's going to have to leave the lane.
Tianming is not having a good time with those. Okay, good use of the reactive taser here. Try and slow down some of the right-click damage. Low. Okay, they go for the spear onto the techies instead. Low is still going to be able to fight back a little bit here, bringing Ari a bit low. Final bit of damage will come in, and yeah, the techies is dead. Really surprised they didn't put the pressure on Low there instead, but...
Yeah, kind of splitting the targets that ended up working out. Meanwhile, Ori uses Rolling Thunder mid into the Pulverize and trade out ultimates, not getting much done. Once more out of resources here, and there's no runes in sight. This has really been a rough laning phase for Ori. I did not expect it to be this bad. I mean, I think Primal wins the matchup, but he's really been abused.
Yeah, one thing is the supports on the side lanes never died. So nobody was able to TP in and give him that refill on bottle. If you get like one of those, it could definitely change how the laning phase works in this matchup.
He should have told his supports to die more.
That's true. And Ori again is going to be grabbed. He already used the swashbuckle to clear out the creep wave, so they know there is no way out of that situation for him. Tree laid down instantly, gets trampled by BZM.
That interaction is pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, Azure Ray just committing another support, a Bach TP after a bottle refill, and then your mid still dies, and you're going to miss this 8-minute power rune. That's some Omega feels bad.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
and you already have the 6 up on Whisper, because guess what? He was getting all the solo XP, and you weren't winning that 2-on-1. In fact, you were feeding the techies away down there. So now Low can't stand on the lane. It's Tomato making the gate rotation. Just going to secure this tower for free. Really strong early game here from OG. They're up 2K, but it feels like they just have all the momentum right now. And you're going to have to make this brew split count.
Get a chance here to get another pick off. Nice bushwhack this time around. Ori maybe can punish a bit. Trying to go for the supports, knowing that the Primal Beast is a bit too tanky, but Whisper cutting over makes things very hard. In fact, he catches Ori on the edge of the arena, prevents him from leaving. Low now trying to come in, but again, it feels like Azure Ray is about 5 steps behind.
Bach just got artillery strike from the other side of the map.
They're going to use the Primal Split here to try and ensure at least 1 kill.
This has to get something. I mean, this is your strongest ult in the early game. He TP'd bottom for this.
Okay, push him back with a Void Panda. That extra bit of distance looks like it's just what they needed to claim the kill in the end. They get that. Can they really go for more? Arrow's going to cut across and hit the techies, and BZM will start trying to lay out the damage. Pulverize does get canceled. Blast off goes off. Tianming, he's going to be the next hero down in this little skirmish between OG and Azure Ray. Ultimately, it feels like it's going the way of OG. They lost the Mars, but Primal Split is now on cooldown.
Just some lack of coordination. Greediness, maybe. I mean, Bushwhack misses. You have the damage fall up. You have a level 1 beam there. You're kind of bringing everybody.
Level 1 beam, level 2 nukes on the supports.
Yeah, it's just nowhere near enough. And every time you make those kind of deep goes, you have to think about this Tomato Morphling counter rotation. He's going to be really happy to come in on the back end of these fights and just clean everybody up. I guess the good news with the level 1 beam is Ahri only gets level 1 beam. I mean, I wouldn't expect them not to have level 1 beam, but I'm saying, like, Low joining that fight, and we're going to bring him down out of Tornado and nuke this guy down. I mean, what are you nuking him with? Yeah. Maybe if you have the vessel completed, it's a different story.
Maybe if your supports, or one of your supports has 6, or...
Sure. That's a lot of extra spell damage on these 2 level 6s they're missing. So that's going to be a big boon to their pickoff game.
Spot the techies, reactive taser will do little to stop BZM's damage here. Whisper can help finish it off. Actually throws out the arena, and it's a good thing too because Azure Ray was looking to fight this. He still might be able to. Oh, we gave away Rolling Thunder. That's not good.
Yeah, that is a huge spell to get right here.
I mean, you got to back away immediately. Yeah, Ahri wants to put this to use, and he's going to catch Low. Telekinesis to hold him in place, then he bounces onto him a couple times, in fact. Ooh, gets himself stuck.
Yeah, I mean, that's... we've all been there.
Well, it doesn't matter. BZM can clean up the kill anyway. Dive in almost into the tier 2 radius. They do have FY. A big burst of... Oh, nice defense there from Whisper. It's still not enough. BZM will die to Swashbuckle, but Ori is in deep, and he doesn't have shield crash up for a second. Almost got nailed by the spear. Still, damage is coming out even without the disable. Good bushwhack going out on the back end from Ahri, as the Primal Split now looks to overwhelm OG, and they can't do much besides just fight the Pandas. Whisper's doing what he can, but he may be run down. The Brewlings are almost out, though. They're almost all gone. Bushwhack latches onto him. Finally, he switches back into his regular form. Bach is ready to go. Tomato is the strongest hero in this fight, though. Wait for him over the techies will finish him off. He'll push back the Luna and try and get away. Ahri just kind of charges forward to create space for the other two to retreat. OG, a long, drawn-out fight, which looks like Zeb will actually join.
God damn.
His support and dying there.
What a monster team fight from Bach. He comes in, he deals 3,500 damage between the split, multiple urns, multiple level 4 hazes. You get 2 Hoodwink ults off in a single fight at 10 minutes. That is absurd value. I mean, Azure Ray very happy about that extension.
Radiant's top tower is under
At the same time, Ahri, he is really getting some work done. He had Sticky Bomb stolen, Bushwhack stolen. Start off with the Rolling Thunder, of course.
Yeah.
This Rubik is a big problem if he gets to throw out all these nukes. Once again, this Pulverize interaction not really preventing Ori from getting the job done, and gonna collect another freebie here.
Might even be able to run down or shoot down the Rubik. In the case of FY, lands another one.
Look at that. Stone cold killer right there.
Radiant's top tower is
I guess the problem is Azure Ray, they're getting something back into their coffers here with these kills, but Low died earlier, and Tomato walked away from that fight, and he's been farming this whole time as well.
I mean, the Morph is always going to be big in this game. I don't think there's anything they can really do to prevent him getting his farm. Again, I think it's just a matter of how strong their teamfight ball becomes behind this brew. Pango, nice little arena flank will clean up a support on the back end. But that's going to be the story, because you can toss this Morphling, or you can toss the Morph, you can burn the Morph mana, but the way you're going to win the fight is just overwhelming OG over the long run. And if you're Pango Brewer and strong enough to do that, then this Morphling, he's not the craziest threat, but he is going to be good. He's going to be very powerful versus Low, and right now he's getting the better of that exchange, stealing Ancients as well. But the Vessel done. So you have a big timing here. Brewmaster's very strong right now.
14-minute Wisdom Runes coming up.
So have to keep in mind the spell steals. You have Morph and Rubik. There were 2 stolen Bushwhacks getting thrown out in that previous fight.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Any
a
spell you
huge
throw,
kill.
you get turned around 2 times. Is it enough? Not quite. Waveform, TP away, and no disables. Nobody close enough.
That, I mean, that's
Radiant's middle tower.
one of those kills that I think theoretically is a misplay, right? Because if you Rolling Thunder, there's no way he can escape.
Yep.
But you just think you have the burst, you want to save the ultimate. Like, you can't blame Ori there because that spell is so influential in these early fights, but a little greedy, and it cost them big time. That was a kill that would have done a lot. They will get top tier 1 regardless and now look for the mid fight. And we got to remember, they still have Rolling Thunder for this fight, so that's the upside of not using it there, and it'll dissuade this aggression. As FY is just going Maelstrom. I respect that. That's how you build a wing. Maelstrom first.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in this game, the extra bit of burst damage on a Morphling, disable's probably not quite as good against some of these heroes. Mostly the Morphling.
You can also pick up some of the core slack. Sometimes as Brew, you just fall into more of this utility role.
Yeah.
And if you go Vessel first, he's going to go Vlad second for Bach. Yeah, that tells me you're just playing this Brew as disruption control, so the Hoodwink can pick up some of the damage. Once more, they're trying to pressure the Morph. I mean, this is what the Pango can achieve. You can kick him out of areas. You're not going to kill him, but you can make it sad.
It is hard enough to be, oh, Whisper jumping in and catching the techies. That's a freebie.
Yeah, he's pretty much gotten a kill every arena, I think. Don't think he's missed one.
Yeah, and if you think most of them pin him on our techies here.
Yep. He is suffering. But that's
FY, really good setup thanks to that ward, though. These heroes are a bit too tanky to burst down immediately, but Ori can potentially clean up here.
Brew's gone.
The crash goes through.
The
Brewmaster and all his Brewlings all died except for the Storm Panda on 50 HP.
Oh, get the hell out, boys. Did not get the Dispel off and just shredded him.
Okay, big swashbuckle hit. Whispers low, blast out, lands onto the 2, while Tomato chases down the Hoodwink. He got that kill, and now he looks back to all these heroes that are low thanks to BZM with a big hit right on through the middle of Azure Ray.
No standing against this Primal Beast right now. Especially once that Brew ult is out. Who's tanking the brunt of this hit? And FY expending a buyback as well. You gotta remember, that's a Maelstrom build-up Hoodwink buying back at 15 minutes. That really hurts here as Tomato just has free reign with Stolen Bushwhack, and BZM just knocks them all down here. That is not a turn you can make. There is no way without that Brew ult. Rolling Thunders, I don't even think it was up at that point, and yeah, that is a huge turn in this game. This Morphling just getting out of control. He has way too much freedom right now.
Ari will get low. Raindrop protects him from the little bit of lethal damage, but Ba comes in, cleans it up now. I mean, they're just in pretty deep. Azure Ray are not going to give up their jungle so easily, so they find the 2 supports.
Big kills to give away.
Yeah, when you're down 7-8K gold like that, any kill is worth a hefty amount.
Again, if you're OG, you just have to play through this Morph. Play around Tomato's timings. Every time he gets a big item, you take a fight. You're going to steal out the map right now. You're going to get Roshan. Vlad's build will guarantee he can pretty much solo that if he ever wants to commit the time.
And now he's got Light Collector too.
That item's so busted. I take it every time.
Yeah.
10% move speed. What? %?
Yeah.
I feel like that was a typo or something.
Meant to be 10.
Yeah.
10 MS. Highest amount of deaths in 17 minutes
come on, man.
on any hero at this event. Thank you, production.
Did him dirty with that one.
Dire structures are
I mean, he's been arena'd every time. What do you want the man to do?
Radiant's middle tower.
Yeah, he
Gotta
did
change.
get counterpicked and counterplayed a lot.
I also feel like 5 techies is just significantly worse than the 4 techies in terms of being strong on the map.
I would largely agree with that because most of your momentum from techies, right, is having a core to play with. And if you're 5, you're already in lane with a hero that's not going to benefit you.
Yeah, it's just hard to play aggressive. You don't get the mech or the sustain up as fast, so you're squishier when you jump in, which is what the hero inevitably does. I'm not surprised he has 8 deaths this game. But I guess that is worth mentioning. Like, 8 of the 15 kills OG has is on Tian Ming, which aren't really high-value kills. Still, they're up 5K.
Ever seen someone
They're up
Why?
5K, but they were up more.
Let's get started.
So the cheeky play.
Whose little kobold is that?
Radiant's top tower.
I don't know,
is
but he's
under
stronger.
attack.
It's more powerful than ever. Very sad day for the Fools, of course.
What did Tianming, why is he holding on to that tier 2? Oh, okay. Got the whip. That item got a nice little buff.
It was a very good buff. I mean, it's not a bad item. Just very underutilized. And not for the wrong reason. Ori will finish up his
Radiant's
2 fighting items
structures
here.
are fortified.
He's ready to go, but is Azure Ray confident enough to try and take a skirmish right now? I mean, the next fight could determine who gets this Roshan. Either team can do it very fast if you clear the enemy out.
Dire's top tower is under
This
attack.
is just slow. Your tier 2's already gone by the time you're taking this engagement.
He's showing up a little late. The arena pins the Pango right next to the
that's a
Morphling. A
find.
perfect opportunity
An arrow.
for them to claim advantage in this team fight. Tomato just has to wait out the Eclipse. He morphs his strength, pops his Manta. No problem there. So, no Pango. Luna with no Eclipse.
I mean, the Rubik wasn't even at this fight. That's just another great find from Whisper. And again, the setup there from Azure Ray is just a little slow. Like, that is not a fight you want to take after your tier 2's dead. You lose the vision, you lose the TP control. It just has not felt crisp from them so far. And this is not a game you can afford to play a little sloppy because OG are going to take advantage of it every time. And this Morphling is continuing to get bigger and bigger. Flactor already done on his way to Conda.
That is some heavy burst damage with a full Agi. I mean, you're back to shotgun Morphling once you have Conda.
This is very
the
aggressive.
Wisdom Rune.
Middle tower
Very
is under
aggressive.
attack.
Yeah, the smoke across is a little bit late to join BZM at the
got
right
whipped.
time.
The new whip, but it's all a
Whisper
bait.
jumping in with a shield rune. A stolen Eclipse starts going to work. Low is already at half health. Whisper looks to chase him down with his BKB. He's running out of damage though. Looks like the 2 supports will help to sway. Meanwhile, the push forward from Ori is pushed back a lot of OG. In fact, they're going to be able to get kill up BZM. A shot from FY all across the map gets him. Ori still has some trouble though. Tomato has now entered the engagement and he is the biggest, baddest of them all. Whisper's going to get a little bit low, but not low enough to worry. After all, he had Bach stuck in the cage there. Low, blinking forward, got caught by the telekinesis, turns around with his man, and actually managed to bring him down the Morphling.
And the disarm.
A misstep from Tomato. Low, he will fall as Whisper is able to chase him down, but what a turn to the favor of Azure Ray. It looked like they were just going to get run over in this engagement. Instead, they get a team wipe.
And a Maelstrom proc at the end just to seal the deal as the Azure Ray supports.
Not that interesting.
Putting on a clinic in that fight. They did so much work. Just looking at the damage numbers, guess who was number 1? It's your boy FY. It stands for, fuck you, I'm going to shoot you down every time. Apparently, he's just going to carry this game. He's almost ahead of Ori now. You got so much out of that. That is the lesson of the day, boys and girls. That is why you go Maelstrom on this hero. And you be a Giga Chad.
Big
Because
deeps.
your team ain't going to carry. Someone's got to carry the game.
He got so much experience out of that. He's going to be level 15 once he cleans up these 2 creeps here.
He's literally the mid now.
Yeah.
All right, Ori.
So
Good job.
he now has the +2 acorn shot bounces. So his Maelstrom is doing big damage. Excuse me. He's Gleipnir, which he is completing right now.
He's almost the highest level in the game. The highest level in the game is the Morphling at 60. Actually ridiculous. A huge turn for Azure Ray as suddenly they get another core in this game they had no business getting. And a lot of that fight was, again, the Pango and the Brew going in and just creating a mad amount of space that stalls that fight, and then you catch the Morphling at the end.
Whisper has been very troublesome for Azure Ray in his initiation, so catching him first might be good. It forces out the BKB, gets the arena out of him as well. They can still kind of chase.
Yeah, this is not a bad setup.
Oh, got Rolling Thunder again.
This is now
Ori.
a bad setup.
Yeah, get out, get out, get out.
Dire's top tower
Oh, there's a ward on him too.
I mean, that's
Tomato.
That's worth you.
Yeah.
That's worth your 10th death or whatever the hell it is at this point. And stolen rolling.
Oh, he does have Blink on the Rubik, so he can still keep chasing.
I mean, Azure Ray are happy to see that.
Yeah.
I guess it'll be very low cooldown here, 70 seconds. I mean, can easily get another one. That is just not a spell you want to be giving away. If you're Ori, I feel like you just insta-bounce.
Yeah.
One of these fights, it's going to absolutely demolish your cores, and only going to be you to blame. Bach looking for Vessel charges as well. He is out. That is another big deal. This front line from OG is just becoming tankier and tankier. You got to remember they have this Mirana ult to back them up for the initiation as well, so you're not always going to get some clean go. Still, Tomato in the driver's seat right now, as Low is trying to finish up his BKB. This is a lot about Roshan. It's still just sitting there. And you got to remember, you had this Vlad's Morph. Its objective has been on the table. Azure Ray just making it a bit sticky on the map. And OG not feeling like they want to commit the time to do it when they could be fighting. But if the fights aren't decisive, then this game gets drawn out. And if Luna gets the BKB, suddenly Low can just stand in the middle of that fight. You don't want to use the Pulverize on him and free up the fight for Ori. You might have to.
I've already seen that shard go to work for Low quite a bit too. Both the defensive and offensive capacity of it.
Radiant are scanning.
Still, though, it is looking like OG will get this Roshan for free, so even if they do get the BKB on Luna, OG will still hold a significant advantage.
And that's just to the early game. I think if Luna had BKB during that daytime interval, there's a chance Azure Ray might have tried to force it just with their teamfight prowess.
Dire structures are fortified.
But the differential here is just a little too big, and yeah, that goes the way of OG as the BKB comes right on cue. Too little, too late. And Tomato is
Dire's bottom
very strong
tower
right
is
now.
under
He can aggressively just force the fight with this Aegis, bait out some of the ults, bait out a BKB, trade his life for it to make sure the fight goes their way. Conda online as well. So this damage is significant.
Hit the tier 2 at top and then see if they've done their Tormentor.
attack.
This is where Morphling shines, where he just gets to basically solo take objectives because he's too strong to fight, and
Is falling.
he does them faster than almost any other carry in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, he basically soloed Roche, he's soloing tier 2.
Dire's bottom
Ori is not expecting this play. You could see the ping. He thought they were going to be doing their Tormentor right now, but instead they actually made the move. Meanwhile, they actually catch some heroes in inside of their own jungle here. BZM tried to go for it, tried to go for the grab onto Luna. Fortunately, he will survive, at least for now. Another beam, not quite enough. He's going to charge back in after Low.
TP out.
He's not getting out of here. FY, he can hold him in place, though. He might be able to get a kill, but he's going to lose his carry. Yep, there it is. He gets the kill on a BZM. Bach is now going to join him, though, and FY will continue outputting some serious damage. Reads that the spear is going to be heading his way. Same goes with Seb, who's also trying to hunt that squirrel. Bach makes his way back with the Brewlings. Should be perfectly fine.
I mean, Tomato's here. He can chase us down. Have to go back to this Panda.
I mean, he's going to be... Is it a full HP? Yeah, he gets another toss up in the air. And FY still catches Seb.
630 in the bank. FY continuing to put on the show here. The whole time that happened, Tomato also soloed their Tormentor and killed Tianming again. Worth noting. As this Morphling is completely out of control, 10-1 and 4. And again, what does your lineup do to stop him? I feel like the only real good interaction they have was Ori having a really good game and you just chasing him off parts of the map. You slow down his farm rate, burn out some mana in the fight. At this point, nobody is man fighting the Morph.
Going for the Wisdom Rune, and they found Ori in the process. Rolling Thunder gets the grab on him. Even though the Bushwhack was well-timed from FY, it just couldn't happen fast enough to save Ori in that situation.
He's starting to just have no game. Like, what is Pango going to do here? FY just going Manta. Classic 4-position item.
Why is he going Manta?
Well, it's a classic 4-position item. Okay. Austin, I just explained.
I don't believe you, but okay.
I honestly don't really know. What does he want?
I mean, he can kind of dodge spear. He can disjoint the Conda projectile from the Morphling.
If he dodges one of these spells, it's not bad, but is that worth the investment relative to how much damage it's giving you versus, I don't know, you know, even a mini crit or...
I do kind of feel like in this situation, it's better to just go for bust and just try and output as much damage as possible. But I could see his
probably be dataless.
Yeah, I could see his idea of just like a happy medium. It's a damage item that helps.
He will get that one surprise fight too, where you always get where you send out that illusion and they're gonna jump it.
It's a possibility here. Once again, the spear into the arrow spells doom for Ori.
I just looked too easy the whole game for Whisper, man. He's just walking around, he sees a hero, he arenas the hero, they die, he does it all cooldown. Man's 8-1. He's just chilling. Look at him chilling.
Very chill.
Got a full satanic, so what are you gonna do? You Maelstrom proc him 8 times in a row, that's something.
Could break him.
And boom.
Oh! Hit the Mirana instead.
It's too old to dodge it, man.
Uh-oh. Low. They're going to be charging into mines, but BZM doesn't care. He shrugs that damage off easy, and even if Tomato were to die, he still has the Aegis for another 30 seconds, so that's going to be a lane. Maybe 2. 60 seconds left on the Luna. And look at Tomato. Keeps
rock into an arrow.
Yeah, that's a combo. Yeah, not going to see way too many times. They're going to run over Bach just like that. The chain stuns are too much. And without low, they can hit all these disables they want, but they're running out of damage. They need FY to do all the heavy lifting here. And there's only so many acorns in this tree.
Yeah, Split is just getting annihilated.
Oh!
Yeah. I mean, that's the problem. One waveform, you're just gone. You needed more tempo in this game. You needed it desperately on this Morphling. And you did not find it outside of FY putting on some flashy plays, but I mean, it's not nearly good enough to carry this game. And in fact, the sharpshooter will get turned around. And that'll seal the 5-man, 6-man, 7-man wipe without losing a single hero here.
Yeah, that's pretty much the game. Gone in 60 seconds. Low dies once, and
I don't even think he really got to use his BKB timing at all.
No.
Just a Morphling clinic.
One last blast off for the road. Pulverize, no arrow to follow it up, but there's a spear. Got off the BKB. Low does get back to the fountain successfully, but Tomato is just focused on the Ancient.
Classic Seb laugh here. As once more, he's probably thinking about what he's going to tweet after this game.
No, surely not. Surely not up against Azure Ray.
Lost to 31-year-old Mirana, lol.
Imagine he just did that every single